So in today's video, we're going to talk about a very dark time in my life, something that happened 2.5 years ago, something that you might be going through today. And if you clicked on this video, do not worry, there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm going to give you guys a little 2.5 year update video on my scaphoid fracture and kind of talk to you guys about what happened, my experience, and how I healed and how I'm doing in today's current world. So 2.5 years ago, I was riding an electric bicycle and I flipped over the handlebars, braced my fall with my wrists. I slammed into the concrete, my chin slammed into the ground, I was bleeding, and I had to get rushed to the hospital. I turned out to have broken my scaphoid bone, which is one of the 7 bones in the wrist. And I also had to get stitches in my chin from just bleeding, right? So the scaphoid, one of 7 bones in the wrist. And the problem with the scaphoid is that it doesn't get good blood flow. So the doctor put the cast on me. He was telling me that, most of the time it does heal. There is times where it doesn't heal because the scaphoid doesn't get good blood flow. So I was in the cast for 6 weeks. I meet back up with the doctor, and it still has not healed. He's like, it looks like it's healing. It looks like things are starting to get a little better, but I'm gonna put you in the cast for another 5 weeks, and hopefully by then it's fully healed. 5 weeks go by. Now this is now 11 weeks in the cast, and he takes the cast off, and it's not healed, not even close. Really what happened was some of the tendons were starting to kind of form together, but in the grand scheme of things, my wrist had no strength and it was still broken. So at that point, the doctor was like, all right, we have to do the surgery now. So I had a screw that was screwed to the bone and it eventually healed. So after getting the surgery, I had to go to occupational therapy for about 3 months at a time. 3 months. It was probably about 2 visits. No, it was a visit. It was 3 visits a week for the first couple months, and then it was just like 1 visit every week. And then gradually, I started to get my strength back, and I started to be able to work out with very lightweight, which was good. I was starting to gain a little bit of strength, but I was still nowhere close to anywhere where I was before the injury. So gradually, I continued to work on improving my strength, improving my overall life, because it was a very dark time and I had to overcome a lot of setbacks and adversity. And then kind of COVID happened, and with COVID, it just wasn't a great time for anyone. So kind of transitioning from trying to recover from a wrist injury that was tough to recover from, and then transitioning right into COVID, it just was a lot on my overall emotional well-being. Just my mind, body, and soul was not connected. It was not working with me. It was working against me. And it was just a very dark couple of years. Although I was recovering from my wrist injury, there was so much that was going on within my mind that wasn't directing me closer to the person that I wanted to become, and I was living within my ego most of the time, and that's a tough place to be. And it's just now that I'm starting to like reconnect with my soul, reconnect with my purpose, reconnect with my overall well-being to move me closer to my dreams. And that's why I put in the thumbnail of this video that I'm operating at 10% of my potential, and that's honestly how I feel. I know there's so much more that I have to accomplish in this world, so much more that I have to give to the universe, and there's so much that I've just neglected within my own personal life that it ends now. And if you're going through this injury, look at it as a way to really embrace the tough times in your life, because you'll look back at this injury and you'll be grateful for it. I'm grateful for it now. it really was a tough time, but if it wasn't for that tough time and overcoming that adversity, I wouldn't be on the trajectory that I am now, and I wouldn't have had that adversity. Sometimes having that adversity is what you really need to catapult you to your dreams and to your higher purpose on this world. I know it's just an injury, and I know it's just a setback in your life, but it can be very, very dark, and it can be very depressing to have this switch up in your life, to just be healthy and then all of a sudden, well, as you guys could see from the picture, I wasn't healthy. I'm still not healthy. I was extremely overweight, and I'm just not operating at my true self. The ego is present at times, and it causes me to do bad habits. And bad habits they start in the mind and they transition to the body, and your body is a reflection of your mind. So you have to believe that you can heal, whether you're dealing with a weight problem or if you're dealing with this injury. You have to envision yourself healthier. It will happen. I remember having to get up, go to this occupational therapy twice a week, and it was painful. It was painful what they did, because I had to work on building my strength back. I had to work on scar therapy. This is the scar that I have from the surgery, and it was very tender. I never fully had the strength that I once had, and I'm still struggling because there is times where my hands will tense up, especially the left one, where I'll just get a little numb. And I know I'll never be 100%, but I know I could still get stronger. I know that the wrist injury it's not holding me back from being able to lift a lot of weight and move past the strength that I once had. So I know I'll continue to grow and to build and to work on my self-development. I think I just thought that I would just overcome this injury so fast, and then all of a sudden just get back to the health that I once was in 2018, where I was really shredded, really lean, 160 pounds. And to just have that injury, to gain a bunch of weight, to then just basically stay in a plateaued state for 2.5 years, it makes me think like all the time I wasted not living up to my potential. So if you're going through some tough times right now, really use this as a time to reflect on your mind, body, and soul. Where are you right now? Is your ego present? Do you need to reconnect with your soul, reconnect with your higher purpose to find out what you need to do to manifest your dreams? And I know the weight will shred off me now, knowing that I'm operating from my soul and not within the ego, because the ego is what controlled most of my actions and unhealthy habits. But as I operate from my soul, it's so much easier to live life through it and to do good in this world. So think about that. Overcome your injury. Overcome the adversity in your life. And make your dreams a reality. This has been your boy, Coach Dusty. I'm out. Peace.